You know, and we all know about this. It is about workers' rights. The workers' rights not to be in a union.
Yes! 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 Yes!
And face it, that's what this is all about. This is all about the very provision in Act 10 that gives people a choice.
Yes! Choice!
And you people on the left are constantly talking about choice.
I am pro-choice for Act 10!
Yeah! So, let's get a little bit of a legal perspective from an attorney. His name is Ralph. Let's try that again. Easy for me to say. Randy Melchert. Coming over.
Thank you very much. I'm attorney Randy Melchert. Glad to be with you today. I know what you're thinking when you hear lawyer. You think, you know, a little bit edgy, kind of like the guy who's walking through the cemetery. And, you know, he sees this grave. And the grave says, a good man, you know, honest guy, and a good lawyer. And the guy thinks to himself, 3 people in the same grave. How's that? So, just to give you some background on what all we're going to do today. If you haven't read has anybody actually read a copy of this court decision? It's actually very interesting if you read through it. If you pick it up and read through it, answer some of the questions that people have. Some of the questions. One, you know, hey, the theme that's always been around, was this unconstitutionally passed? Even the Dane County judge here points out that she was unable to, that it did not violate the Constitution how it was passed. They also asked, perhaps people have heard, anybody heard people say, well, hey, Governor Walker's trying to take away my pension, he's taking away my property interest in it. The judge here stated that it does not violate the constitutional prohibition against taking property interest without due process. You want to know what else this judge says? If you turn to page 14, now there's other stuff here, you know, that many people can disagree with, but on page 14, the judge states, it is undisputed that there is no constitutional right to collective bargaining. Yes. This is what the Dane County judge says on page 14. So, just to give you an idea of where this is going, as this is going to go on appeal, you can actually go onto the DOJ website and actually read the reply brief that the Attorney General's already set out. So this will give you some idea of what this case is going to be decided on. And what they're pointing out is this case is going to be decided on a Supreme Court ruling, Enquist versus Oregon Department of Agriculture. And all this legal stuff is all boring. If you really like it, you know, we actually got a pretty good law school on the other end of State Street. But it points out that the government is given significantly greater leeway in dealing with citizen employees than it does with citizens at large. And this is going to be the distinction, the difference between citizen employees and citizens. So these are going to be the things you're going to be hearing about on the road ahead. That this is going to be a distinction that the Dane County Court didn't seem to find. But on appeal, as in many other cases, there seems to be a distinction. However, keep in mind, this is going to be a long, hard process. There's about 3 major court cases. This is just one of them. Perhaps you remember the U.S. District Court, where they struck down the annual recertification. There's other court cases in. This is going to be a long road. Hang in there, keep the fight, because you know what? Sometimes some of these court decisions get struck down. If you go online, you can find several different court cases. AccuWeb versus Foley-Lardner, Wisconsin v. Jensen, and perhaps a small little case last year where a Dane County judge was overruled by the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Because as we look at it, as we look at history, as we look at the law is on the side of the right. It's not that we hate people, it's not that we're bitter against people. The fact is that this is tough times for Wisconsin, tough times for the nation. We had a governor who was willing to do what was necessary, what was right, what was difficult, what was needed, and we can hang together as Wisconsinites. We're going to hang together. We all have sacrifices to make to help make this state better, and we have a governor who is willing to do it. So hang in the fight. Take a chance. Read some of this stuff. It's kind of interesting what some of these, even Dane County judges admit about what the state of the law is. Thank you very much for this great rally. Hang in the fight. Stay in there, and let's fight for Wisconsin. Yeah.